All right, and we are live. Welcome, everyone. It is Rey Perez, global branding expert, and I'm super excited for today's broadcast because I have a very special guest that I'm going to be doing a masterclass with on April 4th, 3 p.m. Eastern, and you're not going to want to miss our guest. She is a speaker. She's an author. She is a coach. She's a consultant. She is assisting entrepreneurs and business owners all over the world and really creating breakthrough results. And she's got an amazing event called the Yes Event that's coming up. So I'm super excited to bring on Suzane Evans, everyone. So Suzane, are you there?
I am always here. Good to see you. Thanks for having me, Rey.
Thank you so much for jumping on the show. And I'm just super excited about April 4th, where you're going to be sharing with our audience some of the breakthrough strategies that you've developed over the years. So can we give them a little bit of a preview of what they can expect for that masterclass?
Well, thank you so much. Yes, I would love to. And I'll share with you, if you're watching right now, here's why you want to pay attention and here's why you want to be here April 4th. So just a decade ago, 10 years ago, I was a secretary making $45,000 a year. And I went from secretary to 7 figures. And I did that not by being the perfect marketer, not by having a bunch of business acumen. I did that by understanding how to get attention. And what's fascinating is that was something that I figured out 12, 14 years ago. And you may go, what's the math? She just said she was a secretary 10 years ago. I built my business as a side hustle. I was working a 60-hour-a-week day job and nights and weekends. I built a life coaching business to 6 figures while I was making $50,000 in the day job. I stayed the second year and built the business to $250,000 a year while working 60 hours a week in a day job. And I'm not totally stupid. I eventually resigned. I resigned, and then the business went to 7 figures in under 10 months. We've gone on to obviously have a $6 million plus business every year, been on the Inc. 500, 5,000 for 5 straight years in a row of fastest growing companies in America. And just last week, I celebrated my 9th anniversary of landing number 5 on the New York Times bestseller list with my book, The Way You Do Anything is the Way You Do Everything. So why do you want to be here April 4th? Because I figured some stuff out. If I can do this fat, gay, and broke, you can do this. You can figure this out. You can absolutely have a life of yes. You can have a business of yes. You can put yourself in a situation where you don't have to sell yourself all day long. You can put yourself in a situation where you don't have to become the penultimate marketer. You can put yourself in a situation where you don't have to know a damn thing about a funnel. You can put yourself in a position where you don't even have a website and you can make 6 figures, because this is going to startle you. Business knowledge, as we have known it, is almost irrelevant now. It's literally almost irrelevant. We live in a world, in a time right now, in which the number one key to being successful is figuring out how to get attention, to be disruptive. After you're disruptive and you figure out how to get attention, then you've got to be captivating and inspiring. From being captivating and inspiring, you can actually get leads. And then from there, you can work on the conversion. You can work on getting more yeses. You've got to become a great storyteller. You've got to become an interesting human. And if you feel like you're not interesting, that's a big part of your cash flow issue. So we're going to walk you through that on a big picture, but I'm then going to get you into the tactics and the strategies that will allow you to live a life of yes and be ultimately financially free. Because anybody watching this or anybody who joins us on April 4th, that's actually what they want. Nobody wants to make money. Money's just paper. We want what money can do for us. Money's not the most important thing in the world, but it touches everything that is. And I'm going to show you how to stop doing all the BS business stuff that gets you to spend a lot of money, spend a lot of time, spend a lot of energy, and then live in shame because it didn't work, because it's not going to work, because so much is geared towards who you are, how you show up in the world. Right? How you are able to connect with people and get attention. And that's different for every single being. And I'm going to show you how to figure out what your way is and show you how to make 6, multiple 6, 7 figures, having fun, being a storyteller, being inspiring, and never having to sell again.
Well, first of all, I love your passion. Like you're just like me. I mean, I can just feel the energy, the passion, the commitment. What would you say to those that give you this rebuttal? My business is different.
It is. You're expecting me to say, Rey, and everybody says it's not all business the same. No, your business is different. Well, actually, let me say that differently. You're different. Most businesses, you can follow a similar path and model, but you are different. And that's, I think, what most trainers and teachers and coaches right now are missing, is that people are different. And I'm big and I'm loud and I'm crass and I'm, like a cussing like a sailor. And that's who I am. And I'll have a client who is the antithesis of that. If they try to model exactly what I do, they're going to fail miserably, right? So they have to figure out you have to figure out how to be captivating in your style, right? But you also have to figure out how to be interesting, whether you're big or you're not, or you're loud or you're soft or you're gentle or you're wild or you're whatever. And it's right. It's uncovering all of those pieces. I would also say, you mentioned passion. Let's talk about that for just a second. Get rid of your passion, right? I am not passionate about this, what I'm doing right here. I'm not passionate about this interview. I'm not passionate about my business. It is a job to me. And it's a job that I love doing. I love doing it. I'm really fortunate that I get to do something that I love. But passion screws up most startup business owners because they work from passion. And passion, by definition, in Webster's dictionary, is an uncontrollable emotion. Who wants an uncontrollable emotion running your business? Let me tell you what I am passionate about. I'm passionate about the 6-year-old that I homeschool. I have a 6-year-old son and I homeschool him. I'm passionate about 12-course tasting menus. I'm passionate about travel. I'm passionate about my house in Maine. I'm passionate about boats. I'm one of these people, a boat just walks in front of you and I buy it, right? I'm passionate about those things. I do this job so that I can live my passions. So I want you to get into the facts of your business. Feelings are fickle. They will fuck you up every single time. And if you're running off of passion, and if you're running off of impact, and if you're running off of making a difference in the world, I don't care about you making a difference in the world. I want you to make a difference in your world. Because when you make a difference in your world, or when you change, everybody around you is forced to change. You begin to free other people up to be free. And so you've got to get really clear that business is business. If you keep working from the heart all the time, the heart will screw you up. How many people watching this have been divorced? The heart will screw you up. How many of you have gotten in horrible friendships that were toxic? The heart will screw you up every time.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that there's not a place for the heart, but you got to work from your head so that you can have an amazing business, get more yeses, and then use that business to fund your life of yes and help other people live their life of yes.
So elaborate a little bit on yes, right? Because there's many different reasons that word is so important. Elaborate a little bit on that.
So here's how I live my life and I've run my business. And as I said, I'm like 13 and a half years in. Coming up will be my 14th year in business. And I did work a 60-hour-a-week day job while I grew it. And, it was complex because I had very little time to actually grow my business. And so as I tried to sort that out and as I tried to figure that out, I knew that my job was to say yes to everything. Let me just say that again, because that is not what Brene Brown would tell you. That is not what Mel Robbins would tell you. That is not what the gurus of personal development would tell you. They would tell you to find your boundaries. And let me tell you, especially the women listening to this, you have found your boundaries so well, you have forgotten how to take action and how to love people.
Wow.
And so the bottom line is that my job is to say yes to. Now, listen, if something is an obvious no, if somebody comes and says, I want you to I want you to come in and talk to a manufacturing company on blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know anything about that. I don't know how to, of course, that's a no. But I'm talking about all the things that you go pros and cons. Should I, shouldn't I? What if, right? My job is to say yes to everything and it can get somebody else to do it. Let me say that again.
I love it.
My job is to say yes to everything. Now, if you're just starting out, you go, well, Suzanne, you have a team of 18 full-time employees, and I do. But I did that from the beginning, and here's how. I would create, here's mine today. Every night of my life, I create a to-do list. And every morning of my life, and I've done this for 13 and a half years now, I wake up, and my job is to get rid of 80% of it. 3 Ds. I either delegate it, I dollar it, which is mean I spend money to solve it so I don't have to do it, or I dump it. It doesn't need to get done. So I use those 3 Ds. So that's about what yes is, right? I say yes to almost everything that's not out of complete alignment or integrity or just off the wall, right? And then I get it in my to-dos, in my wheelhouse, and I either dollar it, dump it, or delegate it. And then I'm only left with 20% to do. And I did that when I was starting my business because I was in a day job. There's an amazing story. 1-800-Flowers, the company. The gentleman who started that company on the side while he was in a day job. And he was like the executive director of a boys club. And he grew the business to 1 million, then like several million. And then they were on track to like scale to 30 million in a year. And his board of directors called him in and said, you have to resign from your job. Like we're on target to do $30 million this year. And he said, no way. And they said, we know you love this job and your heart is in it. He goes, no. He goes, if I leave the job, I'll screw this up. He goes, what will I do with that other 8 hours a day except mess up what we've created? His point was, if you say yes to the right things, and then you only do those things, you tunnel vision in the time you have, your life becomes a lot. You say yes to everything, then everybody wants to say yes to you. And then you live in this spirit of yes. You know, I'll tell you, and then people see you as a yes. And this is an important story. My son was having his first 1-year-old birthday party, and we had gone all out and we'd set up a stage, and the theme of it was like, I used to work in the Broadway theater industry, and it was a little Broadway theme. And there was like, it didn't look like a rainstorm. It looked like a tornado combined with a hurricane coming. And it kind of passed, like we got a little sprinkle right before the party, and then it cleared. It was amazing. And my best friend from elementary school and her mother came to the party. And we were sitting at the picnic table, and she said, oh my God, it ended up being such a beautiful day. I said, oh my gosh, I know, I was so worried. She said, we were driving down here and we were in like torrential rain. And my mom looked over at me and she said, oh my God, I feel so bad for Suzane and the party and it being outside. And she said, and I looked over at my mom and I said, oh Mom, the sun always shines on Suzane Evans. And the reason that story is important is because if you begin to live a life of yes, people only believe you are a yes person. You are living in yes. You are receiving yes. You are giving yes. You are in yes. And so yes is about booking more speaking gigs. And yes is about being captivating. And yes is about learning to convert from a place of storytelling. And yes is about yes to more money and yes to more abundance. And most of you watching this are like, you're like, yes to more abundance. And we're all like headed to the same abundance pool. And you're bringing a teaspoon and mama's bringing a dump truck. So we've got to get you into that spirit of yes from a tactical standpoint in business, but also from a psychological and emotional standpoint of how you're showing up in the world.
I love it. I love bringing in the mindset and the skill set so that you can implement.
Exactly.
Excellent. So before we wrap up, so on April 4th, for those of you that are obviously watching live right now, we want you to go to bgbmasterclass.com, get registered, because this is going to be an amazing masterclass. As you can already see, Suzane brings it. So this is just a sneak peek of what you can expect. It is going to be on April 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I'm very excited. Anything you want to add or you want to just leave to anyone about the masterclass on April 4th?
Well, I'd just say, first of all, thank you for hosting me. Thank you for having me here today. And thank you for hosting me for the masterclass. I do think people you don't just need to be handed another idea or another strategy. You need to be handed the opportunity to figure out who you are: good, bad, tall, short, shy, outgoing, well developed in your business skills, no business skills at all, how you can step in 24 hours and actually start to get attention and be inspiring and get people to connect with you. And it's a lot easier than people are making it out to be. That doesn't mean it's effortless, but it's a lot easier than people make it out to be. And I'll just sneak this in, listen, Ray is a marketer. I mean, I am a marketer, right? I mean, it's what we do for a living. We sell our products to people for a living, but there's a lot of people in the world making a lot of money off of your confusion. And you can simplify it, and you can do 3 things really well, and only 3 things, and build a 6 or multiple 6 or 7 figure business.
I love that. I love that. And for those of you that are watching that already love Suzane getting registered for the PG Masterclass, she also has an event that's coming up. Do you want to just take a moment to plug in the event really quick?
Well, I mean, what could it be called but the yes event, right? So if you want to be a yes, you get booked for speaking, you get leads, you get clients, you're living in yes, all of that. I'm going to show you exactly how over 3 days. Just if you got something out of this 15 minutes, imagine what you can get out of 3 days. I'm nonstop. We go from morning till night. It's virtual, so you don't have to get on a plane. You don't have to eat a lousy Marriott Cobb salad, right? You can just stay in the comfort of your home. And I'll tell you this, people are like, oh, Zoom. And, now we're out of COVID. Zoom is hard. It's like, let me tell you, I will make you feel like you are in a stadium at the Super Bowl. We turn it up. We're going to send you, I'll show you an example. We're going to send you a box that lands on your doorstep if you're in the US and Canada the week before, full of goodies and gifts and strategies and materials for the events. You're never going to have been to an event like this. And at the masterclass, I'll actually show you a little clip, a little video, a little sizzle reel of the event to get you excited. But if you want to join us, I think they have a link that you can just go ahead and not even wait for the masterclass. But
yeah, and they're getting special pricing because they're going through me. They're my clients or my viewers. Go to rayperez360.com, click on the events button, and you're going to get special pricing, right, Suzane?
Yes, special pricing. You'll see that our price is $197 right now to the general public, and it's crossed out there and $97 for you. Plus, we're still putting you in the queue to get boxes. We do have about 50 boxes left before those get sold out. So if you want to spend 3 days getting more yeses, making it easier, and having the time of your life while making more money, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
That's right. And if you're an action taker, don't wait till the master class to get registered, because as Suzane said, they have a limited amount of the boxes. So you want to get registered now so you can get that shipped out for you. I mean, it's $97. You're welcome. I'm hooking you up. Get registered right now. I'm a sponsor of the event, so I'm actually sponsoring, and I can tell you I do a 3-day boot camp that's transformational, and I know this will be for you as well. So go to rayperez360.com, click on the events button, and get registered right now. Suzane, thank you so much. You're amazing, and I can't wait to see you on April 4th for the masterclass.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.